Welcome to Macabre Miscellanea, a curated collection of creepy curiosities. Tonight's story involves a $60 refrigerator, a young woman who received clear instructions, understood them perfectly, and looked anyway. We've all met her. Some of us are her. The only thing more inevitable than curiosity is what happens when it's corrected. Tonight's tale, Footprints in the Butter. Turn down the lights. Let's begin.
My mini fridge dies on a Tuesday, which feels rude even for a kitchen that already looks like it's losing a fight with time. I find out because my milk is warm. Not left it out for 10 minutes warm like it's been thinking about becoming something else. The air inside the fridge has that sweet, sour, lazy smell that says biology lab. I stand there in my socks, door open, staring at the limp carton like it might explain itself. The light inside flickers once, then gives up completely. Okay, I say to nobody. Great. Perfect. Love that for me. I've been in this off-campus rental for 2 weeks because it's what I can afford. The cabinets don't line up. The floors slope just enough that my desk chair slowly migrates toward the wall if I don't wedge it. The kitchen window looks directly into a brick wall, so all the daylight comes pre-filtered through mildew and disappointment. The mini fridge was the one nice thing I brought with me. It survived 3 roommates, 1 power outage, and the time my ex tried to help and defrosted it with a butter knife. Now, it just stops. Like it clocked out. I pull everything onto the counter. Eggs, leftovers, a tub of hummus I don't trust anymore. My phone blinks a low battery warning from the pile of mail it's been sitting on, like it's also about to give up out of solidarity. I should call my landlord, but my landlord is the kind of guy who responds to maintenance requests with a thumbs up and then never shows. I should buy a new mini fridge, but I am in the financial bracket known as college student who is always one expense away from cereal for dinner forever. So I do what broke people have done since the dawn of time. I open Marketplace. It's a graveyard of new items photographed in dim basements, couches with mystery stains, desks with missing drawers, appliances that look like they were pulled from the wreckage of something. I scroll, I squint, I do the mental math of what can I actually survive without. Then I see it. Old refrigerator, works, must pick up today. $60. The photo is bad, too close, too angled, like the person taking it didn't want to stand in the room any longer than necessary. The fridge itself is beige, scuffed, from an era when appliances were built like tanks and decorated like office buildings. But $60 is $60. I click. The seller's name is Mike. His messages are neat, short, polite.
Yes, it works. Yes, the light is fine. No delivery, cash only.
I type back. Any issues? Weird smells? Flickering light? 3 dots appear, then...
Old fridge. Quirky. It's fine.
Then a second message, a beat later.
Don't go looking for the little guy.
I stare at that line longer than I mean to. When I'm a kid, there's this joke adults tell when you stand at the open fridge too long. Close the door. You're letting the cold out. You'll make the little man tired. He has to turn the light off. My dad used to do the whole bit, peering into the fridge with one eye like there really was a tiny guy in there with a clipboard. My aunt always added, "If you see footprints in the butter, that's the dead giveaway." It's a dad joke, an old wives' tale, something parents say so you stop breathing expensive electricity with the door hanging open. I type back. LOL fridge man? Mike replies almost instantly.
Something like that.
No laughing emoji. No haha. Just the words sitting there on the screen. I should feel uneasy. Instead, I feel hungry and mildly annoyed, which is usually how my bad decisions get started. I borrowed Tasha and her boyfriend's truck because my car is currently in the shop in the same way a corpse is resting. We drive across town with the kind of forced cheerfulness you use when someone's doing you a favor and you're both pretending it's fun.
$60 for a full fridge is a steal.
Tasha says, drumming her fingers on the wheel.
Even if it's haunted.
It's not haunted, I say, because saying it out loud feels like inviting it to be true.
Everything's haunted,
She says,
that's just adulthood. You're haunted by your student loans. I'm haunted by my ex. This fridge is haunted by being beige.
Mike's building has narrow stairs and carpet that smells like wet dog and old cooking oil. He buzzes us in without asking who we are, like he's been waiting at the door. He opens it before we knock. He's around 40, close-cropped hair, sunglasses on inside. His face is calm, pleasant, blank, in a way that would read as arrogance if it didn't also read as something else. I notice he's not looking at me. He's looking slightly past my shoulder, head angled, like he's tracking my voice instead of my face.
Fridge is in the kitchen,
He says.
straight back.
His apartment is tidy in the way a place gets tidy when clutter is a hazard. Nothing on the floor. Furniture positioned with intention. Corners clear. Small strips of tape along the counter edges. A textured line running the length of one wall. The fridge sits against the far wall, humming softly. Beige, scuffed, older than me. I open the door. Light on, shelves empty. Smells like baking soda and cold plastic.
See?
Tasha says quietly.
It's fine.
I close the door. A second later, click. The light comes on behind it. I freeze, hand still on the handle. Tasha's smile goes uncertain.
Old relay.
She says,
Probably.
I look at Mike. He's still facing us, hands in his pockets, listening.
It does that sometimes.
He says,
It's fine.
We get it down the stairs the ugly way, scraping walls, sweating, swearing. Mike stands at the top the entire time, not offering help, not moving, just listening. Tasha glances up at him from the second landing, both of us red-faced and wedged against the wall with a half-ton of beige appliance.
Hey, don't worry about us.
She calls up.
2 90-pound girls in a refrigerator. We got it. Really. Please, stay right there.
She drops her voice to a mutter.
I'm sure he's got a lot of standing to do.
Mike says nothing, just listens. When we finally get it into the truck bed and I look back up, he's still there in the doorway.
Take care of it.
He says. On the drive home, Tasha glances at me.
He was blind, right?
Yeah, I say, I think so.
Cool.
She says.
Cool, cool, cool. So we bought a haunted fridge from a blind man who said something cryptic.
It's not haunted, I say again, and it sounds weaker this time. Tasha nods.
Okay, but check the butter for footprints.
Shut up.
Dead giveaway.
Back at my place, we haul the fridge inside. My kitchen is barely big enough for 2 people without touching. The beige fridge takes up half the visual space immediately, like it's already decided it lives here. We plug it in. The compressor kicks on with a deep, steady hum.
Moment of truth.
Tasha says. I open the door. Light on. Fine. I close it. Click. Tasha's smile falters.
Okay, that's a thing.
It's wiring, I say. It's old. We fiddle with it the way people fiddle with things when they want to feel competent. I press the little door switch with my finger. Light off. I let go. Light on. Normal. I close the door and press the switch through the gasket seam. The light should be off. Click. It isn't. I try it 6 more times. Same result. The light comes on when it wants to, on a schedule I can't identify, patient and unhurried, like it has somewhere to be and isn't worried about being late. Tasha checks her phone.
I have to go. Study group.
She steps toward the door, then pauses, hand on the frame.
Just don't be weird about it.
I'm not being weird about it. She looks at the fridge, then at me.
You're already being weird about it.
After she leaves, the apartment feels quieter than it should. The hum fills the space. I clean the fridge because cleaning is what I do when I can't control anything else. I wipe the shelves, scrub the gasket, run my fingers along the rubber seal. I find tiny pinprick holes spaced evenly along the seam, like Someone tested the same spots over and over with something sharp. I tell myself, it's age, wear, nothing. I pull a shelf out to wipe underneath it and notice the manufacturer plate bolted to the back interior wall. Faust and Sons stamped into metal, small and official, the kind of plate that's been there since the factory. I don't recognize the brand. I don't particularly care about the brand. I put the shelf back and keep cleaning. I put my groceries in, milk, eggs, butter, leftovers. The fridge is cold. It holds food. That's the job. I text Mike. Hey, the light keeps clicking on when the door's closed. Do you know why? 3 dots. Then,
Old fridge. Quirky. It's fine. Don't stare at it.
I stare at that message until my eyes ache. Then I put my phone down and try to be normal about the fact that I just paid $60 for a fridge that apparently has opinions. All right, I say to the kitchen, to nobody, to the hum. Fridge man, clock out. The click follows me into the next room like a period at the end of a sentence I didn't write. That night, I wake up thirsty. It's not dramatic. It's not ominous. It's 2:13 a.m. and my mouth feels like cotton and I want a glass of water. I stumble into the kitchen and stop because the fridge is glowing. Not through a crack, not a sliver. The beige door is solid, but there's a thin line of light bleeding out along the bottom gasket. I stand there barefoot, brain-fogged, staring at it. My dad's stupid bit floats up. Close the door. You'll make the little man tired. I take a step closer. The light clicks off. I blink. A second later, click. It comes back on. I text Tasha because it's 2 a.m. and she's the only person I know who might actually respond. The fridge is doing the thing again. 3 minutes pass. Then,
Maya, it is 2 a.m.
Okay, but the light is on with the door closed.
It's a fridge, not a haunting. Go back to sleep.
What if it is a haunting, though?
Then it is the most boring haunting in recorded history. A ghost that turns a light on and off. Incredible, groundbreaking. Go to bed.
I set the phone down. The fridge hums. The light leaks steady along the bottom gasket. Tasha is right. This is boring. This is a wiring issue and a $60 appliance purchased from a stranger on the internet. This is exactly what I paid for. I get my water, I go back to bed, but I leave the kitchen light on because the dark in there feels different now. Not empty, just occupied. And I am 20 years old and broke and alone in a cheap rental, and I am absolutely allowed to leave the kitchen light on if I want to. I don't text Tasha that part. The next morning, I tell myself I imagined it. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm living alone in a cheap rental where the floors slope and the daylight comes pre-filtered through a brick wall. My brain is doing what brains do when they're bored and slightly afraid. It's finding patterns. It's inventing agency. It's turning a wiring problem into a thing that watches. I make coffee. I eat toast. I go to class. I come home and try to ignore the fridge the way you ignore a weird roommate you've decided not to engage with. It doesn't let me. Every time I walk past it, I hear the click. Not constant, not random, timed. A few clicks close together, then a pause, then again. I start noticing the rhythm without meaning to, the way you notice a dripping faucet only after you've already been listening to it for 10 minutes. I test the switch again because I can't not. Door open, light on, normal, door closed, click. Light on, not normal. I wedge a spoon handle in the door gap so it can't seal fully. The light should stay on. Door is technically open. I come back an hour later. The spoon is on the floor. The door is closed. The light clicks on behind it. I try to laugh. The sound comes out wrong. Okay, I tell the fridge. Nice. I eat dinner at my desk with my back to the kitchen. This works fine until I realize I've been listening to the click the entire time and unconsciously timing it against my own chewing, which is exactly the kind of thing that means you've lost the thread of normalcy and are just pretending to hold it. I open the butter dish to make toast. There are faint marks in the top of the butter, small dents, like something pressed its fingertips in. I stare at them. I used a knife this morning. I could have done that. I definitely did that. I set the lid back down carefully, like, if I'm gentle enough about it, the marks will decide to mean nothing. They keep meaning something. So I do the thing that feels like science, because it looks like science. I buy a new stick of butter. I unwrap it and set it in the dish. With the back of a spoon, I smooth the top perfectly flat. No marks, no grooves, clean surface. I tear a thin strip from a notepad and lay it under the lid so it will crease if the dish is opened. I step back and look at it. All right, I say, and my voice is working very hard to sound casual. Let's see. That night, I set my phone on the counter and hit record. Audio only. If I record video of my fridge, I will have crossed a line I'm not ready to name. I go to bed and lie there listening for clicks that don't come because my brain has decided that silence is now also suspicious. I fall asleep anyway because bodies do that, even when you'd rather they didn't. In the morning, the first thing I do is check the butter. The paper strip is still there, but it's creased, lifted, and pressed back into place carefully, like someone was neat about it. I lift the lid. The butter is not smooth anymore. There are prints in it. Not smears, not gouges, neat little toe pad impressions, spaced like footsteps, marching across the top and angling toward the side of the dish closest to the fridge. I don't move for a full second. My brain tries to jam it into something normal. It's me. It's the spoon. It's the knife from yesterday that I already accounted for. It's none of those. I know what a knife does to butter. This is pressure. This is weight. I lean closer, like proximity will make it less true. The prints are tiny, like a doll, like a child's toy. I walk to my phone and stop the recording. My fingers are steady in the way fingers get steady when your brain has quietly decided that falling apart is not currently an option. I press play. At first, it's nothing. Refrigerator hum, house settling, my own faint breathing. Then at 3:07 a.m., click, click. A pause, a soft scrape, something small dragging plastic against plastic. Then click. I rewind and listen again. The scrape is there. Delicate, not a mouse, not a loose panel. Something small moving with purpose, like it has a checklist and is working through it. I find it on the floor near the gasket seam, a sliver, thin as a needle, dark at one end, caught in the rubber like it got lodged mid-flight. I pinch it between my fingers. Too light to be metal but stiff, the tip sharp enough to catch my skin. A dart. I set it on the counter and look at the fridge for a long time. Then I text Mike. What is in the fridge? 3 dots. Longer than before.
You saw it.
No, I type, not yet, but I have footprints in my butter and a dart in my gasket, and an audio recording of something moving around in there at 3 a.m., so I think we're past quirky. A pause, then...
Don't look directly at it. Use a reflection if you have to look. It doesn't like being seen. It will correct you.
Correct me how? I type. The dots appear and disappear twice before his answer comes through.
You've already met the dart.
I put the phone face down on the counter. I stand in my kitchen in my socks looking at a $60 beige refrigerator that contains something with a job and a weapon and apparently a professional objection to being known, and I think about the pinprick holes in the gasket seam that were already there when I bought it, evenly spaced, like someone had tested the same spots over and over. Like this has happened before. Like Mike knew exactly what corrected meant because it had been corrected into him. I pick the phone back up. Why are you blind? I type. The dots appear, disappear, appear again.
I tried to catch it in a reflection.
I go to Mike's apartment the next day because I don't know what else to do. Going to the police is impossible. Calling my landlord is a joke. Texting Tasha would turn me into a story she tells at parties. Remember when Maya thought there was a gremlin in her fridge? I need someone who already knows what I'm talking about and won't laugh. Mike opens the door before I knock. He's wearing the same sunglasses. Up close, I can see the skin beneath them is slightly sunken, like his eyes aren't doing what eyes are supposed to do anymore. His head tilts toward the sound of my breathing.
What?
He says, I need to understand what's in there, I say. He steps back.
Kitchen.
His apartment is even more deliberately arranged than I remembered. Tape along the counter edges, a textured strip running the length of the hallway wall. Furniture positioned so nothing is ever in the way. A space designed to be navigated without sight. He stands at the sink, hands braced on the counter.
You're going to ask me why.
He says, yes.
Because you think if there's a why, there's a fix.
I don't answer because he's right. He turns his head slightly, oriented toward the sound of my breathing.
It's not angry.
He says,
It's not cruel.
then why the dart?
It doesn't want to be known.
He says,
That's not malice. That's procedure. You became a problem the moment you started looking.
I swallow. So it just lives in appliances? Mike's mouth tightens.
People tell the joke about the little man turning the light off. Kids try to beat the light. Adults laugh because it's easier than admitting there's a system running underneath everything that nobody knows about.
A system, I say.
It has a job, it does the job. If you see it, you become a problem that needs correcting.
He says, correcting the way you say a word you've had a long time to get used to. Flat, final, like a door that doesn't open anymore. I think about the butter lid pressed back down neatly, the tape reseated, the clicks on schedule, every interference I made quietly undone. Did it make you blind? I ask. He lifts a hand and touches the rim of his sunglasses.
I caught it in a spoon,
He says.
in the glossy side of the fridge door, just long enough to confirm the joke.
He lowers his hand.
It didn't chase me, it didn't attack me, it corrected the witness.
The word witness lands wrong, too official, like I've been entered into a record somewhere. So you solved the problem by making it someone else's, I say. His jaw tightens.
I got rid of it.
That's not solving it. That's just moving it down the street. Silence, then,
No,
he says quietly.
it's not.
I force myself to ask the thing I've been not asking since I walked in. How do I get it out? Mike's head tilts.
You don't.
I can unplug it.
It doesn't need your power.
He says, and there's something almost bitter in his voice now.
It's not a ghost. It's not electricity. Your fridge is just where the job happens right now.
I stand there with my hands clenched, running the logistics in my head because logistics are what my brain does when it can't handle the alternative. I can't keep it. I can't throw it out without passing it somewhere. And passing it somewhere is exactly what Mike did, and I am standing in his carefully taped apartment looking at where his eyes used to work, and I understand it completely. And I hate that I understand it. I have to go, I say. Mike nods once.
Don't look again.
He says. At the door I stop because apparently I am constitutionally incapable of leaving well enough alone. What happens if someone else sees it? I ask. His answer comes immediately.
Then it corrects them.
Back home I decide I can't live with it for another night. I stand in front of the fridge with a roll of duct tape and my phone in my pocket like it's a talisman. The fridge hums. The click comes once, then twice, steady as a pulse. I don't open the door. I kneel and yank the plug from the wall. The hum dies. The kitchen goes quiet in a way that feels wrong, like a sound got removed that was covering something else. I tape the door shut. One strip across the top, one across the middle, one across the bottom. Then I grip the sides and start to pull. The fridge is heavy. It fights me with pure physics. Weight and friction and the way cheap linoleum grabs. I drag it an inch, then another. My breathing gets loud. Then, from inside the sealed, unpowered fridge, click. The light comes on. It shouldn't. There's no power. There's no reason. The click comes again, then again, faster. A cluster, like a hand tapping. I stop moving. My gaze goes to the door seam where the gasket meets the frame, the thin line where light leaks out. I know better, Mike told me. The dart already told me. Every reasonable part of my brain is in complete agreement that I should not look. I pull a spoon from the drawer without thinking, the nearest reflective thing. My hand is shaking hard enough that the spoon rattles against my fingers. I angle it toward the gasket seam, toward the leaking line of light, like I'm trying to see without seeing. The spoon catches the glow. And there it is, small, hunched shape behind the switch cavity. Goggles pushed up on its forehead, skin soot-smudged, leathery, mottled like something that has lived too close to heat and dust for too long. Pointed ears torn at the edges, long, clever fingers working the switch mechanism with the focused patience of something that does this for a living. Then its eyes find the spoon, two wet points of reflected light. It goes perfectly still. The grin it has, wide, stupid, impish, slides off its face. The dart comes so fast I don't process the motion. A sharp sting near my right eye, precise and immediate, like a snapped rubber band against bare skin. My eyelid spasms shut. I gasp and drop the spoon and it clatters off the counter onto the floor. Hot tears flood my eye instantly. The kitchen light blooms into a smear. Edges warp and halo. I stagger back, one hand over my face, the other slapping at the counter. I don't go to the hospital. I sit on the kitchen floor with a bag of frozen peas pressed to my eye and my phone open to search results I can't focus on properly. Eye injury needle puncture. The internet offers two options. You're fine or you're dying with nothing in between. I laugh once, sharp and ugly, because this is where my life is now. My vision on the right side is softer. Bright lights flare, edges smear. When I blink, the world tries to stitch itself back together and mostly succeeds. I think about calling Tasha. I think about saying, "Hey, do you have a minute? I got darted by the fridge man." I picture her face. I don't call. I think about dragging it outside anyway. And then I look at my swollen eye and I hear Mike's voice, flat and certain. It corrects them. I'm not corrected enough. Not yet. But I understand now that corrected is a direction, not a destination, and I don't want to find out where it ends. So I do the worst thing, which is also the only thing. I decide to pass it on. I take the duct tape off carefully because I don't want to provoke anything. The tape peels away slow and the fridge door swings open easy like it's happy to be back at work. The light is on. Of course it is. I don't stare at the bulb. I don't angle spoons. I remove my groceries without making eye contact with anything and close the door. The click comes immediately after, steady and calm. I sit down at my laptop and open Marketplace. My hands hover over the keyboard. I type, "Old refrigerator, works great, $60, pick up today." I stop. I stare at my own words like they belong to someone else. I add, "Light flickers sometimes, probably wiring." My fingers shake. I start to type a warning. There is something inside it. I delete it. I type it as a joke. Fridge man included, no extra charge. I delete that too. I type, "Cash only." I hit post. The act feels small. Clicking a button, moving on, but my stomach twists like I've just signed something in a language I only half understand. Within the hour, a message pops up. A guy named Kyle, profile picture, baseball cap, dorm room mirror selfie, the particular glow of someone who has not yet learned that cheap is never just cheap.
Is it still available?
My throat tightens. "Yes," I type. "Can you pick up tonight?"
Yeah, my roommate and I can come.
I close the laptop and look at my kitchen. The beige fridge sits there humming, light clicking occasionally behind the closed door, doing its job like I was never part of this. I find myself thinking about Mike's apartment. The tape along the counters, the textured strip on the wall, the careful empty corners, his hands braced on the sink like a rail. I think about the way he said, corrected. I close my eyes. I tell myself, I'm doing this because I have no choice. Then I tell myself the truth, which is that I have a choice and I'm making it anyway. And the only difference between me and Mike is that I haven't found a way to call it something else yet. Kyle and his roommate show up at 7:40, cheerful and oblivious, smelling like cheap cologne and takeout.
Wow.
Kyle says, stepping into my kitchen.
Old school.
Yeah, I say, my voice sounds normal. I don't know how. He opens the door. The light flares bright and steady. He grins.
Nice. It even has a light.
I look away. He closes the door. A second later, click. Kyle pauses.
Huh.
Old wiring, I say. The light comes out smooth like I've been saying it for years. Relay thing. Kyle shrugs.
Yeah, my last fridge did that.
We load it into the truck. I keep my eyes away from reflective surfaces the whole time. Spoons, windows, the chrome on the truck bumper. My whole body is tuned to angles and glass. Kyle hands me 3 20s. Thanks me. Tells me to have a good night. I nod like a normal person. Then they drive away. My kitchen is suddenly too empty. The space where the fridge sat looks like a missing tooth. I stand in the doorway for a long moment, listening for a click that isn't there anymore. My eye throbs. The world on the right side still looks slightly wrong, like the sharpness got turned down and nobody told me where the setting is. I shut the door, lock it, lean my forehead against it and breathe. My phone buzzes an hour later, a message from Kyle.
Hey, sorry, dumb question. Is it normal to find little footprints in the butter?
I stare at the screen with one good eye. My thumb hovers. I start typing a reassuring lie. Yeah, old fridges are weird. Probably just... I stop. The cursor blinks. On, off, like a tiny bulb doing its job. I don't finish the text.
And that was Footprints in the Butter. The little man had a job, a dart, and a very clear policy about witnesses. She knew, Mike told her, the dart told her, and she looked anyway, because that's the thing about curiosity. It doesn't feel like a choice until it's already made. If you enjoyed tonight's story, subscribe for more, leave a like, and share it with someone who appreciates the darker things. New original horrors from Macabre Miscellanea arrive every week. Until next time, remember, curiosity doesn't kill you. It just corrects you.